sometimes we're sitting around bullshitting, and I think the thing that we get to see and we get to enjoy because we live close to each other is we're always hanging out bullshitting. We're going here. We're going shooting guns. We're dragging a deer to get a deer processed.
Hunting deer. JC is no friend of the whitetail.
No, the whitetail does not like me to the point he's got a free pass for me the past couple years so he can reestablish his ranks.
But I knocked him out this year pretty good.
You sure as hell did. Hell, you went down to Texas and shot a big deer.
Yep, he went to Texas and shot one. Yep.
So something that's really cool, we're located close to each other. We live 25 minutes from each other. So that's really good in dealing with the things that we've been through, common ground, shared suffering, the crazy shit that we've seen. Not everybody gets to enjoy that.
That's why it's so important. What we're going to talk about here is what I want to bring up is about our reunions coming up.
Yep.
And the 25th, 26th.
Yeah, we stuff kicks off on the 26th down in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Our good buddy Sergeant Dave Childress, second award proudly. Second award. Sergeant Dave Childress is organizing our annual or our semi-annual 3-6 reunion down in Chattanooga, and we get Taddy here once or twice a year. Mark Cronenberry comes through town. Hell, there's a guy from 81s that comes down here, Brian Goltz, to see us. Yeah. People want to come hang out because I think everybody is trying to they're trying to enjoy that brotherhood because I think we all find ourselves at that point in our lives as we were the best versions of ourselves.
If you are a Marine. And no matter where you're at in this world, if you can do it, get and surround yourselves with other Marines. The reunions and stuff like that. Because I guarantee you, when you leave there, your heart is full.
Oh, man. And I remember this, one of my goofy-ass little docs, and I probably said this before, but my doc said, he goes, I can't believe you fired me at the end of Iraq. Number one, I'm a platoon sergeant. I can fire you, but not really. But you did 1 month shy of 2 full combat deployments in a rifle platoon.
Right.
They're corpsmen that never experienced that.
You didn't get fired.
And I said, Doc, it was your time to go back to BAS.
Right.
And to watch when I told him that, the weight that came off of him. So I think guys have got to remember, when a guy's a lance corporal and you are a staff sergeant and a gunny, man, they think you're a higher up. It's like, dude, no, I'm your platoon sergeant. But there are things that at that point in time that they just weren't comfortable asking or.
Well, what I like now is when we were in Iraq and Afghanistan with those guys, to remember how they were then. And now we see them with their families.
Right.
Right. Their children, their beards, and they went on throughout life, and life happened.
Yeah.
And it's great to see those guys.
Yeah.
And you know what, though? The second you lock eyes with them, it's back again.
Hell, I still get called staff sergeant.
Yeah, I get called gunny.
Right. And people are like, he called you staff sergeant. I'm like, he could have called me asshole. Or better yet, he could have not even shown up because he didn't like me.
Yep.
So I think back to the piece with my doc is I think what's really cool is you get to fill out some pages that were left blank in their life story.
Yeah,
and they're like, hey, why did you guys do this? For God's sakes, the BC will be there. Right. And he's an open book.
Oh, yeah.
Sir, why did we do this on this day? Or what was the reason behind this? And I think it better tells the story. But I think for our guys in particular, we were part of a really good unit at a really good place in time to where we had some shared hardship. We've lost Marines.
Yeah.
But we were doing what Marines were supposed to do. And I had no better time in my entire time in the Marine Corps other than 3-6.
When I was in 3rd Battalion, 6th Marines, the second time with Colonel Alford, that hands down was the culminating point in my time in the Marine Corps.
Hell, it's the culminating point in my professional life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And personal. Those guys. And
see, and that's why I had a hard time when I got promoted to first sergeant, and I had to leave that whole atmosphere, that whole environment, because after that, nothing else mattered to me.
Right.
And I'm sorry to say that, but nothing else mattered.
It's almost like being a professional athlete. It's like, Bo, you started at linebacker for a team that won the Super Bowl. We're going to sign you to this other team, but you're probably only going to make it to the wild card. It's like, I've got my ring, man.
Yeah.
Why do I want to go play for this other team? And it's
I seen them 18, 19-year-old bad asses do some of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life. So then, when I have to go to another unit, and when I got promoted to first sergeant,
Whole different world.
And I'm looking at these clowns thinking, are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
I'm like, where the fuck is the Sergeant Taddies? Where's the Rice Keys, you know? Where's the Chronoberries?
Right.
Where's my platoon sergeants?
Yeah, where's Thibodeau? Where's Christ, Childress? All those guys.
Where's my meat heaters, you know?
Yeah, man.
Get my platoon sergeants up here now.
Right.
You know? Fuck,
right.
You know?
It's not lost on me that I got that experience in my life. So we get to live it, and I'm grateful for it.
I am too.
If we weren't who we were, we wouldn't get to. But for our guys to be able to come together from whatever walk of life they're in now, wherever they find themselves, they know that they're always welcome there. And it's so good to see those guys.
Yeah.
And I just can't say enough good things about it. So anytime, whether it's an organized reunion off the cuff.
Are you in a phone call?
Yeah. I mean, I make it a point when I'm out doing my day job and I'm driving through a particular town. Any brothers in this town, hey, I'm here. All right, instead of driving another hour to get closer to my destination, I'm going to stop over here for a night because it's going to take me another however many hours, and I grab dinner with them.
You're not to toot our own horn, but me and JC went to Detroit to surprise one of our squad leaders.
Yes, sir.
At his birthday party at a bar. He shit a blue Twinkie when we walked in there.
Did.
He couldn't believe his platoon sergeant and his company gunny were there. You know,
we didn't fit in Port Huron.
No, we did not. We had our snakeskin cowboy boots on and shit.
Got a Motorhead T-shirt on.
Yeah, but yeah, you know, it just it's an amazing feeling. You know, don't ever pass up the opportunity to do that. You know, because it does you good. It does everybody good, man.
Yeah. And you know, I think about too, because I still travel around and see Marines, and we talk about this a lot, and we see guys that were our peers that maybe didn't embrace that moment like I think we did.
Right.
So if you're out there and you have the gift, right, the blessing to be billeted to lead Marines and sailors or whatever it is, there's going to come a day where if you do this wrong, you're going to be alone.
That's right.
And I love it to this day. We have successful millionaire guys. We have guys that
we have a fucking congressman.
We have a congressman. We have guys. We have people that are in the music industry. People across all walks of life. Bo, JC, I want some advice.
Yep.
Hey, man.
Absolutely.
Hey, tell us how to do this. Tell us how you did this.
FBI agents.
What would you do?
You know, lawyers.
Generals.
Generals. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Guys will call us, man, and it's all about. I think it's important that you're a good dude. And just think about this, and I'll use the Marine Corps example because that's where we're from. If all you got is to stay off the grass, keep your hands out of your pockets, and you can run a fucking corporal's course, you are one-sided, man. And you're going to get your meritorious service medal. You're going to retire and get your plaque. But you know what?
All of that stuff is okay, but there's a time and a place for it.
But at the end of the day,
that's what you like. I hate to say this.
That's an empty, shitty life.
I got to bring it up, JC. We were both drill instructors, right?
Right.
Proud we did it.
Yep.
But in no way in hell is that our culminating point of our time in the Marine Corps. I know Marines.
That's it.
That is it.
That's it.
Their culminating point.
It's like listen here. Listen,
and I feel bad for them.
It's like looking at the old cartoons back in the 50s and 60s. You got little Hiawatha with the one feather. Man, I've got a war bonnet, Jack, and that's one feather in the war bonnet. So ask yourself that at the end of this, what's that war bonnet look like?
You know,
and that's a feather, and you should be proud of it. But don't be one-sided, man. You got to be multi-dimensional,
right.
and you're cheating yourself if you're not getting close to your guys. And I remember, and I'm not going to drop any names here, but you remember when I had two of our platoon sergeants in our company come to me after Afghanistan. They just got here and they said, "You're too close to your Marines." And I chuckled. I said, "There's no such thing." I said, "Make no mistake about this. If I tell them to go take down a house, charge a bunker, I'm asking them to put their life on the line, but they know I'm going to do it with them."
Absolutely.
Right? And you know what? I see that at our reunions, and you know the same thing because you've asked them to do the same things I have. So, in my mind, you can never be too close. Your proficiency, your character is going to allow you to be close to your people.
You know, you can be close to your Marines, but still be very professional.
Absolutely.
You can still be a hammer. You know, a hammer does two things. You know, it builds and it breaks. It can tear shit up. You got to decide what type of hammer you want to be.
I think if you could get a relationship with your juniors and even your seniors, if you're really good at what you do, it's almost like when you tell them they've screwed something up, it's almost like
yes.
You're like the uncle that they disappoint, and they're like,
that's right.
Man, I really fucked this up, and I'm sorry. And you can see it, and guess what they do? It matters, and they go back, just like the story I tell with the machine gun and you and me, right? Hurt me in my heart, but I grew more from that than any ass chewing I ever would have got. So it's that's important. I'm glad that
and because of the way we were with our Marines. Now, we weren't by no means, handing out fucking cough drops and hugs, but we were close to our Marines because they knew we goddamn cared. You know what I mean? And it shows at these reunions,
And I think about, selfishly, we all care about ourselves and to a degree in our own mental health. I'm better off, and I'm grateful that that's how I rolled. That's how you rolled. I'm grateful that I was that way because it's given me a much richer life here with the Graybeard.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I can't wait to see the guys next month.
Next month. So we're going to have Seabass. We're going to have Seabass. So if you are a wayward 3-6 brother, Marine or sailor,
don't give a damn.
Don't give a damn.
Ass there.
2004 to 2006, and if you're on the front end of that or the back end of that by a little, or you're just a Marine near Chattanooga and you need some fellowship and brotherhood, we will tell you right here.
Come on out.
You are absolutely welcome.
You are welcome.
You are welcome.
You don't have to be in 3-6 either.
So let me tell you something.
You know what I mean? If you're a Marine and you need some, you need a buddy. Yeah. You need to talk. You need to have a good time. You need to get away from all that other bullshit. Yep. Come hang out with Marines. You're absolutely welcome.
And hell, we might even be going hot with the JC and Bo show. So if you've got a story to tell and you think people need to hear it, we're going to have Seabass behind the camera. We're going to be there. Might have a cocktail with us or two. Might have a general. Might have a second award sergeant. You never know what you're going to get, but I think you're going to get some truth, and you're going to get some. You're going to get some real good meat and potato stuff. So we look forward to seeing everybody. You got any questions? Hit us up, man.
Yeah, just hit us up, man. Hit us up. Look forward to seeing everybody.
Reunions matter. Reach out to your brothers.
Absolutely. Reach out.